Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. We are from group 3 with me Salsabila and two of my friends is Anita Herovica and Zahra. This time allow us to present about the material directed reading activity or DRI.
Teaching language can be spared from reading activity. Reading is an integral part in daily life and also very important in academic one. Teaching reading is recognitions of various writing symbols, comprehensions of information, and ideas in reading text. According to Grillet, teaching reading is the combination of word recognitions, intellect, and emotions interacted with prior knowledge to understand the message communicated. Reading is important to be mastered as one of the four English language skills. Reading activity that focus on understanding context and greeting new informations of the text is reading comprehensions. Directed reading activity or DRI is a strategy used by the teacher to help students in reading class. Directed reading activity is a strategy that provides students with instructional support before, during, and after reading. The main assumptions of DRI is the comprehension can be improved by developing background knowledge. Specific purpose means set to reading, discussing, and comprehension development after reading, or MC Kenna and Robinson 1090.
My name is Anita Herovica and I will continue to explain the material. The basic assumption DRA is that it is a structured strategy used by a teacher as a comprehensive way in teaching reading, and it can be used as a principle for teaching guidance development. And next, purposes for using directed reading activity or DRA. First, eliciting prior knowledge. To begin a DRA, one must start by eliciting prior knowledge. Eliciting prior knowledge helps students to connect their lives and knowledge to the central theme that the lesson is exploring. Second, setting a purpose for reading. It is important to set goals for students while reading, so they know what reading strategies to use to comprehend the text. When setting a purpose for reading in a DRA, it should be clear and concise, focusing on the theme discussed in the graphic organizer prepared before the activity. Third, providing an opportunity for students to expand ideas beyond a text or discussion. The discussion portion of the activity should focus on the central theme explored in the purpose for reading. The questions should also help students to explore the concept in depth in a way that it allows them to consider different interpretations of the text.
Okay, the next material will be explained by me, Zahra. The principles of directed reading activity or DRA. Each teaching strategies have principles, likewise directed reading activity or DRA strategy. The principles of directed reading activity strategy always pays attention, gives enough chance to the learners in reading deeply, encourages the learners to be skilled and have strategy, and encourages the learners to self-monitoring. Based on the statement before, it can be explained that there are principles of directed reading activity or DRA strategy. First, attention is one of the principles of DRA that must be considered by the teacher to the learners when teaching reading in the classroom. Second, students have enough chance in reading a text deeply to identify main idea, specific or detailed information, reference, and also meaning in the text. Third, DRA encourages the learners to be skilled and have strategy to explore the text aesthetically, particularly in relation to literature, and to develop their conceptual prior knowledge by text. The next material is the characteristic of directed reading activity, or DRA. To know a method and strategy in language teaching, we need some explanation of its characteristics. Each of these characteristics could be explained as follows. 1. Constantly monitor the text meaning. 2. Take steps to repair fault compression. 3. Learn very early to distinguish important from less important ideas in the text. 4. Especially able to synchronize the information they have read in the text and reading experience. 5. Make inference during and after reading. 6. Constantly search for connection between what they know and what they encounter as new information in the text is read. And the last is sometimes consciously, almost always unconsciously, as question of themselves the author's meaning in the text they read. The next material is the steps of DRA in teaching reading comprehension. Basically, directed reading activity comes from basal reader approach with emphasis on teaching reading according to teaching steps that has been set. The steps of DRA, namely 1. Choose a text. 2. Select vocabulary. 3. Exit prior knowledge. 4. Teach students specific skill. 5. Give students a concrete purpose for reading. 6. Have students read silently. 7. Set the purpose statement and as a question. And the last is engage students in follow-up activities. The last material is advantage and disadvantage of directed reading activity, or DRA. DRA also has some advantage and disadvantage like the other strategies. Huffman exposed some advantage of DRA as follows. 1. DRA is a motivating teaching strategy. Students enjoy making prediction and then finding out whether or not their prediction are correct. 2. DRA is also a very flexible strategy in that it can be used individually, with a small group, or with an entire class. 3. It can also be used in any subject and can meet the needs of any level reader. Besides the advantage, DRA also has disadvantage, as Huffman states DRA may be time-consuming depending on the length of the text. This is because students need linking their prior knowledge in discussion, and if the text is too long, so teaching and learning process must be continued the next meeting. Okay, I think that's enough for material explained at this time, and I hope you all can understand about the material. I close. Thank you for your all attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.